And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Cakewalk. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing.
No, bro, I know Crawford, and he's different. And see, the only thing different here is Canelo is not a bigger guy at that weight. He's not like he's standing 6'1", 6'2" like before.
Terence Crawford been amazing with everything that he's done. So
Floyd Mayweather has issued a bold warning to Canelo Alvarez after recently training with Terence Crawford. Floyd reminded the world that he defeated Canelo at nearly 40 years old and called him easy work. He criticized what he sees as ongoing disrespect toward American fighters, saying fans treat Canelo like he's unbeatable. But that's far from the truth. According to Mayweather, Canelo's hype doesn't match the reality of what he brings to the ring.
You could take a guy like Canelo, this guy could do, he can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Cakewalk. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude. This dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy. Y'all always disrespecting our fighters.
Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
Jeff Mayweather sees Terence Crawford as a once-in-a-generation talent. One of the rare fighters who can rise through multiple weight classes and still dominate. He believes Crawford's style, discipline, and ring IQ are on another level. While Canelo is experienced and powerful, Jeff argues that Crawford is the more complete fighter, both technically and mentally. He doesn't just expect Crawford to survive. He believes Crawford can outclass Canelo in every aspect of the fight.
All right, Jeff, looks like we got a fight coming up in the fall here between Terence Crawford and Canelo. Fight that's been talked about a long time. Initial thoughts on the potential of this fight?
Great fight, two great fighters. I think that moving up 2 weight classes, it's kind of tough, but if anybody can do it, I think it would be Terence Crawford. I mean, skill-wise, I think he's a better fighter than Canelo, but Canelo is also a great fighter but he owns that weight class that he's in. So I would just say that I think that Crawford has to fight almost a perfect fight to win, and take advantage of Canelo's mistakes.
Shannon Briggs offered a personal and emotional take on Crawford's journey. Having followed him since childhood, Briggs says watching Terence prepare for a mega fight like this is powerful. He truly believes Crawford won't just win, he'll stop Canelo. To Briggs, this fight is more than just a big moment. It's the culmination of years of hard work. And he sees it ending with Crawford making a definitive career-defining statement.
What did you make of all the pushing, the shoving, the build-up, the anticipation, the weight differences too?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a great fight. I got Crawford by stoppage, and I've known him since he was a little kid. 12 years old. So to see him now fighting for a title in such a big fight, it's a great experience. Great to see.
Last question for me then: how do you think Crawford stops him? How do you think he's able to work Canelo enough for him to stop the fight, knock him down? How do you think this is possible by Crawford style?
He gonna box him. He can fight both ways. He gonna trick him up. One thing Canelo showed is that he can be outboxed. But I think this time in the late rounds, I think Crawford gonna have something for him.
Shannon, always good to see you, my friend.
You're the best, champ. Let's go, champ.
Legendary analyst Al Bernstein took a more technical approach, suggesting Crawford's move up in weight may not be as risky as it appears. He notes that Canelo isn't the same explosive fighter he was 5 years ago. Age, wear and tear, and a shift in style have taken a toll. Bernstein believes this version of Canelo is beatable, and a disciplined technician like Crawford has all the tools to pull off the upset.
Wait for Crawford to go up to. He started below 147, obviously, as a fighter, so he's going pretty far up in weight. Now, Canelo himself was a 154 pounder. So, you know, he went all the way up to 168, but there's a little difference there. And I think that that's a big issue. Now, whether that's enough to make it impossible for Crawford to win this fight, that remains to be seen. This is a different Canelo Alvarez. It's not the same one from 5 years ago, or 4 years ago, or even 3. So there's that. And then there's all the different eccentricities of each boxer. For Crawford, he's not going to hurt Canelo. But almost nobody hurts Canelo. He's got a rock chin. But can Crawford, who isn't always a volume puncher, make sure that if he's being the boxer puncher, he throws enough punches to win every round? Right. That's important. Right. And for Canelo, if he doesn't hurt Terence Crawford, which he might, can he sustain in those later rounds where we've seen Canelo Alvarez from time to time just fade a little bit? Yep. Crawford's a very good fighter into the later rounds. You know, we saw him stop Porter, and we've seen him have other excellent performances. So, you know, there's a lot of those questions swirling around. But right now, I don't know if I could pick either guy, really. I would have said Canelo Alvarez before.
Crawford's style is built on precision, finesse, and adaptability. Whether he fights orthodox or southpaw, his control of distance and timing is elite. He systematically breaks down opponents, capitalizing on their mistakes. Against a dangerous puncher like Canelo, Crawford's ability to avoid risky exchanges and dictate pace becomes his greatest weapon. He's not just a skilled fighter, he's a thinking fighter, and that's what makes him truly dangerous.
Somebody whose style is based around being the bigger guy, being the stronger guy, but Crawford is a very cerebral, very technical boxer, and I think that's why I'd never really considered this before. But also, I didn't actually realize until I sat down properly and thought about this, just how much weight Crawford has been piling on when he gets into the ring after the weigh-in. And look, these are not numbers that are out of the ordinary, but he's obviously cutting himself down so much in camp from whatever his walking around weight is. And it must be muscle that he's taking off. And perhaps that's why he's only fighting once a year, because there will be some fat, of course there will be, but the dude is not overweight. The dude still looks pretty ripped from what I've seen when he's not in training camp. However, there's not that many photos of him with his top off when he's not actually in training camp. So it's really hard to tell what his body composition is when he's walking around at these big weights. But the fact is, his fight night weight was 169 let's just call it 170 pounds.
The jump from 147 to 168 pounds is significant. But Crawford is treating it with the seriousness it deserves. Whether it's viewed as a 2-division or 3-division leap, one thing is clear. No one has ever become undisputed in 3 separate weight classes. That's Crawford's goal. And he's not just adding weight, he's reshaping his body for peak performance. His transformation shows elite conditioning and a commitment to history, not just size.
69 let's just call it 170 pounds, which is huge, absolutely huge for a 154 pounder. Especially, it's just shocked me that he's come up from 135 and now he's still putting on that much weight. He's rehydrating that much at 154. And indeed, to bring us even closer to the modern day, the thing that was posted, and again, this is the second time we've seen this, is why I'm kind of thinking there's a bit of a theme here with Crawford posting his weight when he's not actually in full training camp. On February the 9th, 2025, he posted an Instagram story and he showed himself weighing 186 pounds on a gym scale. Now, that's so much bigger than I imagined Crawford would be. I never thought this guy would walk around at 186 pounds, which for anyone who needs the conversion is just over 84 kilograms. And now look, it's not an unthinkable weight for someone, but for someone who has fought as low as Crawford has, who is generally as lean and as in shape as Crawford is, that's a lot of weight. I've tried to find photos of Crawford from around that time, and I can't really dig anything out to show you what he was looking like at that weight. But that's pretty big. And there was a bit of a joke in the Piers Morgan interview I noticed and I clocked, where Piers asked him what he was weighing right now. He said, I weigh 155 pounds. And I just thought to myself, there's absolutely no chance. Why would he bulk up and then in the space of just over 4 months cut the best part of 31 pounds? Like, that makes no sense. So he was definitely joking about that, just like he was joking about only earning 10 million for this fight. So when he fights Canelo, he's going to be at the super middleweight limit, which is 168 pounds. So when you look at that, you sort of go, okay, well, that's an 18-pound weight cut, which is not bad at all. But 186 is his walking around weight. So what will his weight be that he actually cuts from to make?
David Benavidez stirred controversy once again by questioning Canelo's past regarding possible steroid use. He insists there's no doubt in his mind, fueling ongoing speculation about Canelo's dominance. While these claims remain unproven, they continue to feed skepticism, especially as Canelo ages and takes on naturally smaller, but highly technical fighters like Crawford. The shadow of doubt adds yet another layer to an already heated showdown.
I was 100% confident in himself. I don't know why he wouldn't fight me, especially since, seeing that everybody in his team is on steroids, which means including him, so he never got off steroids.
You think he's on steroids?
Of course. Sure.
How
does five?
You saw De La Hoya
how do five people out of your camp get tested positive for steroids? Right. You know what I mean? All those fucking dudes in that camp are doing it.
In the build-up to the fight, Terence Crawford has shown a new level of intensity. During the face-off, he didn't hesitate. He physically pushed Canelo, making it clear he's not intimidated by the bigger name or the heavier man. Analysts like Showbiz The Adult noted that moment as a turning point. It revealed a fiercer, more aggressive version of Crawford. He's not just stepping up in weight, he's stepping up in mindset. His goal is to take control mentally before the first punch is even thrown.
And Canelo uses his legs, he uses his core, and then his neck itself to lift up Bivol like Bivol was a featherweight. That is a huge representation of how strong Canelo is. When you look at his workouts, you can tell why he was able to do that. All these damn neck exercises that I wouldn't dare do. Okay, that stuff looks painful. The squatting and all that stuff that he's doing is exactly why Canelo Alvarez, honestly, is a strong fighter. He tried to do it again with William Skull. William Skull shook out of it. But he is a bull. Listen, Terence Bud Crawford is strong. He is, okay? And he understands leverage and he understands those things because he wrestled. Honestly, very true. But Saul Canelo Alvarez is also extremely strong. Now, let me know how you feel in the comments below. We're in the zone, war room.
Former champion Antonio Tarver made an important point. Weight alone won't decide this fight. He dismissed the idea that Canelo is some unbeatable physical obstacle, insisting that skills and execution matter more than pounds. According to Tarver, if the sharp, hungry Canelo who defeated Caleb Plant shows up, it could be competitive. But if the slower, more calculated version appears, Crawford's speed, timing, and ring IQ will allow him to take over the fight.
About this before, Crawford and Canelo, Bud County. You're a fighter who's moved up right in weight and won fights. Like, so what is it that, what questions in your mind as the smaller fighter moving up and in the ring are you trying to ask yourself in the ring? Like, what questions are you kind of like?
No, bro, I know Crawford, and he's different. And see, the only thing different here is Canelo is not a bigger guy at that weight. He's not like he's standing 6'1", 6'2" like Bivol or one of those guys. So on fight night, the size is not going to be the main thing, the most important thing. It's going to be skill set. And both of them coming with their skill set. But what I haven't seen lately is the opponents that Canelo is facing. Those guys aren't going to get him ready for a guy like Crawford. So Canelo is going to have to go back to that grinding, turn back the hands of times too. Because he show up like he did against Skull. He show up like he did against Benavidez, not Benavidez, but Berlanga, and the other guy. What's the other guy name?
Munguia.
Munguia, bro. Those guys, he didn't have enough activity. The last time I saw Canelo that would beat, I think, this Crawford was Plant. Now that Canelo come cutting the ring, all throwing combination to the head and to the body, active. It's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be a hell of a fight. You know what I mean? And I still think I give Crawford a chance even then. So that's what type of talent I think Crawford is. He's definitely gonna have to get used to that power.
Marcus Brown shut down any concerns about Crawford dealing with Canelo's power. He revealed that Crawford often spars with much larger fighters, some with heavyweight level strength. That means Crawford isn't just used to absorbing power, he's comfortable with it. Brown believes that this experience will shine through in the ring. Even when under fire, Crawford will remain calm, focused, and in control.
Both of them. I like both of them. I'm a fan of both of them, but I'm going with Crawford. Typically fighters, they don't want to say who they want to go for because they don't want to be biased. Yeah. And much respect to Canelo, but I'm going Bud.
Is there a particular reason why? Like, you're a guy that moved up in weight, so you know exactly what it feels like to get hit by these bigger guys. Is that something that's gonna play in the back of his head? Like,
of course,
gotta watch out.
It is, but it's not. Because at the end of the day, it's not like he just been in there, got in there with somebody bigger than him. He's always probably been sparring with bigger guys. You know what I'm saying? It's that boxing IQ, which William Skull didn't put up no fight, but he showed somewhat of a blueprint to get this guy, in a space where he's confused.
Yeah.
And he can't touch the target that's in front of him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I just think Bud got that IQ.
Jose Benavidez offered a brief but powerful statement. Terence Crawford is a beast. Coming from a fellow fighter, that's no small compliment. Despite any past rivalry or tension, Benavidez believes Crawford is the superior fighter in this matchup. Of course, doubts still exist. Some fans and experts question whether Crawford can absorb Canelo's power, especially considering his knockout record against hard hitters like Edgar Berlanga. It's the classic clash, precision versus power, timing versus toughness. And that uncertainty is exactly what makes this fight so intriguing.
You gotta go in there and he just gotta fight him. You know what I'm saying? He gotta go in there. I think Crawford just gotta go in there and do what he gotta do. You know what I'm saying? He gotta just be Crawford, show his IQ, show him why he's a two-time undisputed, world champion, and go in there with confidence. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. There's a big weight difference, a big weight jump. That could be a difference in the fight. Because obviously, it's like me jumping up to heavyweight. Obviously, I'm a feel the power. I'm a feel that size difference, compared to my other fights. So I just think that he got to go in there and just be himself. And I said, if he loses, we'll just all know that, hey, he just jumped up 2 weight classes to be great. You know what I'm saying? It's not, he's testing himself. Testing himself a great fighter. So, and I don't doubt him. I don't got no doubt in my mind. He's a 2-time undisputed world champion for a reason. So, and I don't think nothing's gonna phase him in that fight. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the power, maybe the size. You know what I'm saying? And Canelo, he's not knocking Canelo out. So, he just got to go in there just IQ.
Would you lean towards Canelo still in that fight?
I got faith in him. I think Crawford could do it. You know what I'm saying? I think he could do it. Just like I said, just the size. The only shit that throws the fight off is the size and obviously the power, and Canelo's IQ too, because Canelo got IQ. You know what I'm saying? And Canelo fought a much bigger guys. So I know the Crawford's power ain't gonna phase him. I know Crawford's size ain't gonna phase him either. You know what I'm saying? So, but for me, I think it's a 50-50 fight.
One recurring criticism of Crawford is the supposed lack of elite names on his resume. Canelo himself questioned who Crawford has really beaten at the highest level. Crawford's response? Calm and cutting, you. In Crawford's eyes, Canelo is the elite test, and that's intentional. He's built his career step by step, and now he's aiming for the biggest challenge possible. This isn't just about titles, it's about legacy.
This is why people are disliking Canelo. He's a 2-time undisputed champ, and people are quick to say he doesn't want to fight people. He's ducking people. He's only fighting easy fighters. That's the reason why he keeps winning. Well, let's look at his resume. 23-0, 22-0, 43-0, 35-1, 32-5, 42-1, 19-0, 21-0, 30-0. If these people were so easy, haven't they lost prior to fighting Canelo? When Canelo asked him, who have you fought? Crawford couldn't even name one person that was a great fighter. So why don't fans say that about Crawford? The truth is that when someone wins too much and they keep winning over and over again, that's when people want to see you lose. Why do you think they always bring up the Bivol fight? Do you realize that he moved up in weight to light heavyweight to fight their best champion? Canelo's fighting easy people. Well, it's different when you make it look easy. Canelo has been fighting all these people, and when he wins, he makes it look easy. And people are quick to judge and say, well, he's only fighting easy fighters. But you're not seeing him train. You don't know how many hours he's investing into his training daily. It's easy for you to say outside the ring. Do you realize before he became undisputed, every single person he had to beat had a world title? They had a title for a reason. So he was picking and choosing, I need to fight this champion and beat them all. But what are your honest thoughts? Do you truly believe Crawford has what it takes to finally dethrone Canelo? But don't forget to follow for more news and finance information.
Veteran broadcaster Jim Gray delivered a balanced take on the matchup. He praised Crawford's undefeated run and total dominance across multiple weight divisions. But he also acknowledged Canelo's legacy as one of the greatest Mexican fighters of this era. For Gray, this is a true 50-50 fight, a battle where both men put their greatness on the line, and only one will come out with their legacy elevated.
And Canelo and Crawford, who do you expect to be just a little greter on September 13th?
You know, it's so hard to tell, but the bigger man, I mean, I don't want to get hit by Canelo ever. And when you've weighed so much less, I mean, I don't know what Terence will come into the ring, but you know, he's coming up in weight significantly, and, you know, that seems to me would favor Canelo. By the other token, you know, Terence Crawford's been amazing with everything that he's done. So I can't pick a winner. If I did that, I'd just run into the casino right now and bet and wouldn't even look at the fight and then just go cash my ticket. But I don't know. When you start predicting these things, nobody knows. And anybody who tells you they know, they're just BSing you.
Do you consider Canelo even a little greater than Chavez, who you interviewed and covered?
I do.
Why is that?
It's harder to win now.
And that's it for today's video. This clash between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez is more than just a fight. It's history in the making. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more expert breakdowns and updates. Stay tuned, and we'll catch you next time.